Okay, excellent. Okay, so today we're using an armless chair for our workout today. We're going to do some fun, creative exercises that are going to really give you a quite intense workout. So just mentally wrap your head around that and be ready. We want an armless chair, preferably, versus one with arms. It's going to give us more freedom of movement. We also want a chair that's not feeling rickety or unsteady. So I'm using a basic, pretty lightweight, but stable folding chair. Whatever you have handy will work. Just again, armless is preferable. And like if there's wicker about to collapse, don't use that one. It's a little shaky. You don't want to use that one either. Okay, so let's get going. We're going to start off with some squats inspired by our new box squats at the studio. So I'm going to ask you to step in front of your chair, have your feet and legs in wide turned out second position. Good. Again, we want to make sure we're in a wide stance. We have that external rotation of the femurs and hips going on. Hands on your hips for right now. Go ahead and as you exhale, find a nice deep crease at the top of the hips. You're going to bend the knees shortly soon after. Bow forward so that your sit bones tap on that chair surface. And then think of narrowing your two sitting bones to come right back up, standing tall and vertical. Again, we're going to exhale to lower down. Find a nice crease and fold at the top of the hips. We're bowing that torso forward. Tap the sit bones on the chair, and then narrow your sit bones to come right back up, tall and vertical. I'm going to change my profile so you get a different vantage point. You keep moving at your own pace. So again, we want to find our bowing forward. Our torso is bowing forward as we go down. Our sit bones tap on that surface of the chair, but we're not going to let our weight come to a complete rest. Okay, we're just going to tap and then bring ourselves right back up again. The breathing, that's going to be an exhale that takes you down, exhale to lower, inhale to rise right back up. And if we focus on moving from the base of the pelvis versus just moving through our knees, we're going to feel a little more activation of the low abs and the pelvic floor. We're going to feel more of a core effort going on here. We're going for a couple more like that. Exhale to go down. Find lots of length through the tailbone and the crown of the head. Inhale to rise right back up, tall and vertical. Get ready for one transition. Here we go. We're going to go down, weight across all four corners of both feet. And I'm going to ask us to come up just halfway. Hold. So you can see I'm still with my torso bowed forward. Move my arms so you get a better viewpoint of that. I want to watch everyone that we're not tucking our tailbone under. Find that length. And then let's check in. Maybe we can dissipate and release any holding in our buttocks. Just release any squeeze you might be containing here. And I guarantee you're going to feel those low abs engage and lift back up. Fabulous. Now, I'm going to ask you to hold. Even though we're holding still, doesn't mean we're not working. We're certainly working. Try to envision spirals wrapping outbound around the thighs. Again, keeping the glutes soft. And if we put our mind's eye attention on the base of our pelvis, from there, lift up just a quarter inch and lower down a quarter inch. So we're lifting and lowering slowly, not a lot, lifting and lowering with intention. And it's coming from the base of our pelvis, ideally, versus from our knees doing something like this, okay? So we're gonna find that nice pelvic floor engagement. Collarbones are wide. Shoulder blades dripping down the back line of the torso. We got 4, 3, very good. 2, feeling shakes is a good thing. We rise tall and vertical. Woo! All right, we're off to a great start. Let's come on down to kneeling. We're going to do some exercises with the chair inspired by some upper body jumps you might do in the studio with us. Let's have our feet pointed gently. Make sure your big toes are separated. And then we're just going to have our hands outstretched in front of us. Move back a little bit if you need to so that your knees lift directly under your hips. Collarbones are wide. We're going to bend and crease at the elbows, hinge as well as from the hips. So we're lowering down our torso as one piece. And then we're going to extend those arms. And our torso comes up. Okay, so this is just a prep for what we're about to do in a moment. I want you to discover there's a little mobilization going on here at the hips. Good, there's a hinging of sorts. We're lengthening up as we inhale. Then we can find a nice crease here at the top front part of the hips as we lower down. Beautiful. Now try to translate more of the effort, more of the lift and lower in the hips and less in the hands. So this is me doing a lot of arm work going up and down. It's like a push-up. I'm going to ask for a lighter touch on the chair with your hands. So you're feeling this up-down hinge coming more from your hips, more from your abdominals, okay? Very good. We're going to layer on. We're going to come up, take flight, and then soft land. So we're really trying not to collapse down like this, okay? Think of the hips, the crease right beneath the buttocks, inviting you to come up to kneeling tall. Arms pressed back, and we crease at the top of the hips, and we softly land. Very little efforting through the arms, okay? We're gonna layer on. You're gonna start to feel those abdominals and maybe the upper back of the thighs, but less you use your arms to do this. This is incorrect, or not as ideal. I shouldn't say incorrect. Good, let's layer on. We're gonna go into a rotation, right or left, your choice. We're alternating, soft on the landing. And then other side, inhale as you rise up and twist, exhale as you softly land. Soft as a leaf hitting a pond's surface. Very nice, good. Inhale to rotate, exhale, de-rotate. Try to keep your weight equally distributed on both knees, in fact, on both shins the same. And as you go down into that chair, give me a little extra reach through your tailbone towards the wall by your feet. Reach crown of the head to the ceiling as you take flight. Tailbone reaches to the wall by your feet as you land. Inhale to come up. Just a couple more. Exhale to land. Good. We're going to add on. And we're bringing it back. Good. Bring the carriage a little bit closer to you. So you're going to actually have your palms wide like starfish. Elbows can be off the edge of the chair like mine are a little bit. Fantastic. Beautiful. And then what I'm going to ask you to do now is we're going to extend those arms all the way straight. Fantastic. And then bend the arms so that our wrists are just off slightly. I don't want my whole wrist and forearm resting, so I have a little hover there. Slide your left big toe along the floor until your left leg cannot straighten anymore. And then via the left booty line, please take that left leg off, only by, say, 2 inches. So while you could lift this high, really just want that little tiny lift. Good. About this point, your elbows may want to flare out. And as you keep your shoulders plugged down, your elbows are in tight. Fantastic. And we're going to now add on to the mix. Right arm reaches off to the side of the chair. It doesn't have to be up by your head. It could be below your cheek level. And then you're going to make half the letter X by abducting your left leg and right arm equidistant away from your midline. You bring it back in. Beautiful. Good. Try to keep the weight on the right shin and left hand equal. I'm a little shaky because I'm not resting my wrist completely on that chair. Okay. Beautiful. Move small and conservative. Very nice. We got about 4 more like that. Shoulder blades are level. Some people call this one X marks the spot because you're making half the letter X with your opposite arm and leg. Last 3. Last 2. And we have 1 more. Go ahead. Lower that leg down. We'll get the other side in a moment. Let's have a seat on our chair here. We're going to do a little chest expansion. Okay, so just like the name would suggest, our focus is on expanding the front of the chest. Beautiful. I'm going to have you bring your legs and feet together, magnetizing those outer thighs. Again, this is where a good sturdy chair comes in handy. We want to bring our hips forward just enough while still keeping our hips stacked underneath our shoulders versus tucking them forward like so. Good. Let's check in. You push that chair down deep into the earth. Do you feel that connection of your shoulder blades to your mid-back? Now we're going to exhale and bend the elbows a little bit, not a lot. Inhale to rise right back up. We could effort through the legs. Of course, that's not what I would want. Want to feel that mid-back firing up as you bend the arms and extend. Woo! Very good, everybody. Good. Now you keep moving at your own pace. Something I want you to think about, I know you're working really hard, is when you bend the elbows, Watch, don't disrupt that shoulder girdle stabilization and allow ourselves to sink into those shoulder sockets or the shoulder girdle. Want to really keep that stable. Fire in all those muscles of the mid-back. Very nice. We're looking for 4. We have 3. Going on to our backs in 2. And we have 1. Excellent job, everybody. Okay, so let's get on to our backs now. We're going to start off with our feet, heels on the chair. We're reclining onto our back in the supine position. Pretty darn close to tabletop. However, I don't in this instance want our knees totally stacked over our hips. So move on back a little bit for me, friends. We take our arms up to the ceiling. We're going to interlace the hands together, place the hands behind the base of the head, and we heel that upper body up. Head, neck, and shoulders are off. Fantastic. Good. Now, from here, we're just going to stretch our legs nice and long. They're adducted together just over the surface of the chair. Bend your knees into a true tabletop. Knees arrive over the hips. And then I'd like you to go outside of the chair. So wide, yet the feet and toes are parallel. Bend the knees back into tabletop, magnetizing those outer thighs together. Next phase, we go just under the chair, keeping all of this quite stabilized. Good. Exhale to bend the knees in, and we reverse that pattern. We're going to go out to the sides of the chair. All 10 toenails shining to the ceiling, no turnout. Bend the knees. As you exhale, that should be the breathing pattern. We're inhaling to stretch nice and long. Exhaling to bend those knees in. Excellent work. Let's do that again. Really stretch. Feel the inner line of the inner thighs, drawing up to the domes of the pelvis, alongside the spine, and out through the crown of the head. Each and every time that can straighten those legs. Bend the knees back in. Good. Again. Magnetizing those outer thighs together as you draw the legs back into the tabletop. Reaching underneath. Bringing it back in. We're almost there. And then let's go one more time. Right over the chair where we started and regroup. Perfect. Go ahead. You can grab the back of 1 or 2 legs. Rock yourself up to sitting. We're going to do an exercise that prepares us for rolling like a ball. But in and of itself, it's a challenging exercise. So that's why we're doing it. We're going to bring our heels on top of the chair. Our hands are holding lightly underneath the knee creases with your elbows out nice and wide. So I'd like you to now think of sequencing backwards through the spine, only about halfway. You'll stop when your arms are totally straight, and then engage these low deep abs. Come right back up. Elbows are out wide to the sides yet again. So we're exhaling when we come up. So as you roll back is when we want to inhale. Try to keep the feet from floating up. Exhale as you draw yourself back up to the start position. Keep going like that. So we're mobilizing the lower back. We're keeping the legs quiet. And when we come back up to sitting, don't overly grab with your arms. Use instead your low abs to bring yourself back up to that start position. Good. You're going to go as far back as you can until your arms are no longer able to straighten anymore. And then we're coming right back up. Let's go for 1 more. Come right back up and regroup. Good. Well, we're going to take things up to standing once again. So let's come on up. Fantastic. And we're going to do some exercises inspired by our chair work here. So essentially the same kind of workout you get if you're doing a step down here in the studio. Okay. Square yourself up to the chair. Legs and feet together. We'll start off with our left foot as our standing leg. We're going to bring the right foot flat on the chair. Check in that you're not leaning forward like you see me doing right here. Want instead to have our shoulders stacked directly over our standing left leg. We're going to find a focal point straight ahead. And then what I'd like you to do in your mind's eye is check that right hip isn't lurching up. You've got that belt line nice and level. Can you also check that weight's across all 4 corners of your left foot as well? We're going right into a plie. That means we're bending the left knee as we exhale. And then inhale to extend. Now, something I want you to remember is by its very nature, plies are shallow, not like the moon box squats we started the exercise session with. So we're going to go down only as low as we can without poking the butt back, without tipping the chest forward. Another way of thinking about it is keep your pubic bone and sternum on the same plane. Amazing. Let's add arms to the mix. We can float the arms up as we bend that supporting left leg. Lengthen long arms down as you come back up. Good. So we glide the shoulder blades down the back line of the torso to help float those arms up. And then those shoulders, they slide down in a different fashion as you come back up to standing so that the arms come down. As you're doing this, keep about let's say a 27% press of your right foot down active into that chair. 26, 27% press, whatever that means to you. Good. We got about 3 more. And then we're going to layer on some changes here. So we exhale to go down. Inhale to rise up. Here is our last one. Hold it right here. Stay. I'm going to have you stay in this plie. Arms can stay up, or hands in prayer, or hands back on your hips. Let's keep our level of the height, our height level the same. We're going to use our upper inner left thigh and peel the left heel off of the floor. Press that heel down into the floor. Beautiful. So we're keeping the left knee bent. We're staying in the plie, but we float that left heel up. And we're not just plopping the left heel down. We press it down with intention. Okay? Beautiful. Inhale to lift the left heel up, zipping up the inner line of that left inner thigh a little extra more. Exhale to press that heel down. Beautiful. One more change coming on deck. Just a couple reps of what we're currently doing. Very nice, everybody. Lift the heel up, hold it there. You take our hands to prayer, add a little rotation. Good. Now, as you twist to the right, I want you to keep weight across all 5 of the left toes. And come back to center, pressing your palms actively together. Same side, we're going to rotate to the right. The pelvis and lower body are not invited to rotate. And we press those palms together as we de-rotate. See that you haven't dropped the left heel. Let's go for 3 more. Inhale as you twist. Exhale to come back. Focal point is up high. Last 2. Bringing it back. You guys are doing amazing. Let's go 1 more. You've made it this far. Energy through the crown of the head as you rotate. Coming back to center. Lower the heel. Extend the left leg. Woo, let's regroup. All right. Well, let's go into a nice inversion exercise before we do the other side. So this looks a little more extreme than it is. So don't be intimidated by that. I'm going to talk you through everything you need to know. What I'd like everyone to do is just interlace your hands. Have your elbows nice and wide like a triangle. We're going to go ahead and place our crown of the head on the floor, but I don't want you to let all your weight be on your head. You're really just raising the crown of the head on the floor. You're not putting a lot of weight on your neck or head, okay? All that weight is anchored through your forearms. We take our feet one at a time onto that chair. We're going to pipe our booty up and just really feel those forearms pressing into the floor. So you're reaching those shoulders away from the neck and earlobe. Now, keeping everything steady, you're going to float your left leg up via the left booty line. Softly lower that left foot down. Both forearms and elbows are equally bearing weight the same throughout. We're going to keep our pinky bone of our fist pressing into the floor as much as our elbows are. You alternate at your own pace. This is an inversion exercise. Inhale to float one leg up. Exhale to lower it down. Let's go 1 more each way. Here's our last one. We bring that foot down. Softly lower your knees down 1 at a time. We're going to roll ourselves up. We're going to take a moment to let the blood run back down and regroup. All right, let's turn to face our chair 1 more time. Good. So I bet you feel a little spike of energy after that. That's a natural thing. That's why inversions are so good. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into that X marks the spot for the other side. We have our palms open, knees living directly under our hips. Nice 45-degree diagonal to start off with our torso. Then we bend the elbows. We're going to let our wrist be about a 1/2 of an inch hover above the chair versus letting us sink onto our wrist, okay? Good. From there, you're going to take next a moment and allow your right toe to slide along your mat or your floor until you're unable to get that right leg any more straight. Good. From the right knee line, you take your right leg up. So the right toe is lifted only a couple inches. We don't want to lift it up this high. Beautiful. Left arm reaches long like Superman. And then we're going to keep everything steady and organized. We abduct the left arm and right leg equally away from your midline. Then we bring it back in. Inhale to move those two opposing limbs equidistant away from you. And then at the same time, those two opposing limbs come in. Keep all 5 fingerprints of your right hand equally absorbing into the chair surface throughout. Shoulder blades are plugged down. Beautiful. Excellent. Let's go for a few more like that. Really keep that right elbow in as tight to your midline as possible versus letting it flare out. Okay, let's go for 3 more. Let's do 2 more. Here's our last one. And we are back. Very nice. All right, let's bring it up to standing. We'll get that step down done for the other side. Then we'll start to work towards a cool down, okay? So we have our right foot as the supporting foot this time. Left foot goes flat on the chair. Hands are on your hips. Check again that your bell line is level if you need to. Imagine like a sandbag. We're hanging from your left sit bone, so we get that drop of the left hip the way we like. Okay, my friends. All right, so we're going to find that focal point up high. Keep weight across all 4 corners of that supporting right leg. And give me about, let's say, a 22% press down on the chair with the left sole of the foot. We exhale, we do a small plie, bending that right knee. Inhale, we stand tall. Gorgeous. Now, again, I'll remind you, it is not about getting you down low. It's about keeping that neutral pelvis, neutral spine maintained as we bend and stretch the right leg. So as you're going down, avoid tilting your weight more to your toes. Avoid your butt sticking back or your chest tilting forward. Keep that verticality through your spine. Without looking down, when you stand tall, visualize and feel that right kneecap is absorbing into your quadricep. Another thing I want you to feel when you're standing is, keep moving on your end, the back line of the right leg, like a measuring tape, stretches long when you come up to standing. So you feel a lot of activation in the back of that right leg, a lot more than, say, the front, okay? Beautiful. We can incorporate those arms. Good, so we'll float the arms up as we breathe in. As we exhale, we float those arms up, and then we lengthen those arms down as we inhale back up to standing. Now, let's make this a little core effort a little bit better, just to deepen the work. You guys are all, I'm sure, moving beautifully. When you're exhaling and you're lowering down, think of the pubic bone drawing up towards the lumbar spine, and that should help you feel a little bit of those deeper layers of the waistline, okay? So if you think of your pubic bone drawing in and up towards the lumbar spine when you exhale, you feel those low abs activating nicely. All right, we have a couple more and then we're going to layer on. Same as we did on the first side. Let's go ahead and hold the next one down. Arms can stay up. Prayer, client's choice, okay? I'm going to do prayer hands. Don't look down, but in your mind's eye, see the upper inner right thigh, inviting your right heel to peel off of the floor. And then press that heel down with intention as you press those palms together or press your hands into your hips, wherever your arms may be. We peel the right heel up. We press that heel down. The right knee is going to stay bent. We don't want to change or alter the right knee's angle. And it's not just a simple method of popping the heel up with our calves. I'm doing it incorrectly right now, or not as ideal. It's more about keep moving at your own pace, feeling this zippering sensation of your right upper inner thigh saying, hey, heel, come on up. So it's that inner upper thigh that invites that heel to lift. When you press the heel down, you can imagine, if you would please, drawing up muscle pants as you lower the right heel down with intention into the floor. Let's go for a few more. There is one change. We're all good for it, I'm sure. Don't forget to smile. Lift your right heel. Check your belt line is still level. Check your weights across all 5 right toes the same. We can take our arms long this time. Rotate to your left, keeping your pelvis and lower body quiet. Exhale, de-rotate to face that wall in front of you. So we're rotating the right rib basket over to the wall on your left, via the waistline, and then we're coming back. And this is where it helps to keep that 17% press into the chair surface with your left foot, right? Gives you a sense of stability while firing up all those fun muscles of your lower body. Let's do 3 more. Inhale to rotate. Exhale to come out of that rotation. 2 more, friends. We're cooling it down after this. Let's go 1 more time. And come back to center. Lower your right heel. Extend your right leg, come up to standing tall. Excellent. Well, let's get down and do some extension with our chair. Okay, so you might move your chair a little forward. If you want to lie down prone on your floor, legs and feet wide and turn out. Arms essentially straight, holding on to anywhere that you can find on the chair's legs without your shoulders crunching up into your neck, okay? So that same thing goes, like maybe your chair is more favorably better closer to you versus far away from you. Where do you find that nice connection of your shoulders to your mid-back, okay? We're starting off with our hands holding up just a smidge higher than our shoulders, but our arms are essentially straight. Our nose is hovering off the floor, and we have those legs wide and in turn. On your next inhale, don't pull the chair towards you. Just think of drawing those legs into the floor to lift the chest. Now, the chair might slide a little bit, that's okay. But it's really about working the posterior chain of your torso to come up, okay? Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale to lower down. It is not about how high can you come up. I just want you to feel that. Work in the posterior chain, that means the mid-back. And I want you to feel that stretch across the front of the chest. And finally, feel that length through the crown of the head. So it's very important. Keep moving in the right, nice and slow. Very important, not throwing your chin up. You're not crunching into your low back. This is a cool down, all right? We're still working, but we're lengthening it. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale to lower down. Let's go for 1 more. Inhale to come up. And lower down. Let's go into a child's pose or a little stretch here just to get that stretched out. Perfect. And now, just to layer on with that rolling like a ball prep we did earlier, let's do a roll up just to stretch out through that spine a little better. I'm going to have us place our legs again in that modified tabletop so they're not directly over our hips. We're going to be a little bit farther away from our hips, okay? But I don't know if you can see, I've got my left foot underneath the chair. My right heel is on top. My 2 feet are sandwiched in that chair, okay? Arms are reaching up. Now, it's an equal breathing of the chair on 2 feet, even though they're doing 2 different things. Again, my left foot, just to show you, is pressing up, while my right heel is pressing down, okay? I'm sandwiching the edge of the chair with my 2 feet, the same, okay? All right, from here, keep your chair very quiet. Keep the angle of your knees silent. We're just gonna roll up sequentially through the middle of the spine. If you feel like you're gripping in your hips, you can move that chair a little further away from you. And then again, still sandwich that chair with your 2 feet actively.
As you slowly roll down through the center of the spine, arms lifting to the ceiling along with you, and your head lands laps. That was really good. Let's try that again. We're gonna now peel up, or Velcro peeling off the surface. Squeeze on that chair actively with your 2 feet, pressing down and up respectively. That's gonna help you stay living in your abdominals. Keep that active sandwiching of the chair as you slowly roll down the very middle of your spine, allowing the head to land last. Let's do that one last time. We're peeling up, like Velcro peeling off the surface. Lift proud to the chest at the top of the movement, and then roll down, resisting gravity on the way down. Amazing. Let's do a bridge before we do that other side. We keep our feet flat on the floor, about 3 inches apart. Via the creases under our booty, we're gonna lift those hips up, imprinting those arms into the floor, and then we lengthen the tailbone down. Very good. So we're inhaling to rise up, all 4 corners of the feet absorbing into the floor. Find length through the tailbone as you lower the pelvis down. Let's do that twice more. No weight or pressures on the neck. And we're bringing it back down. Let's do that one last time. We're lifting the pelvis as if it were an elevator, going straight up. And then here to finish, instead of going down the softened heart from chin, we're rolling down 1 vertebra at a time so that our tailbone is the last thing to land. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and this time switch feet. So I'm going to have for this side, my left heel on top of the chair. My right foot is under the chair, right? Opposite of what I did on the first side. So let's change that up, friends. We have that modified tabletop, and these are a little bit away from the pelvis, like you see with me. Arms are reaching up. Now, guys, let's make sure we're greeting that chair equally with both feet actively, okay? And now, as you exhale, we're gonna peel up. You might find one side is not as easy as the other, but that's okay. This is why we do things one-sided. Keep sandwiching that chair. That's important. Sandwich that chair between your 2 feet as you roll down slowly, greeting 1 vertebra at a time onto the floor. Now, a good indicator that you're not using your feet equally is if your chair hops up or moves, okay? The more still you keep the chair, the more equal you're using your legs and feet, which is a good thing. And that means you'll move more centered through the spine. Let's do a couple more. Beautiful. Keep this kind of magnetism between your inner thighs as well. Slowly roll down. Nice and slow is where the prize is. Let's go one last time. Peeling up off of that floor. And then I want you to go down and resist gravity. 1 vertebra down at a time. And regroup. Good work. Let's stretch things out here. Everyone, grab the back of your thighs. Rock yourself up. Let's get to our seated position on our chair. Good. We're going to actually straddle the chair like so. And we're going to have that nice wide stance with our legs. Let your legs be straight, feet flex. This is an exercise inspired by SAW. Okay, so your arms are nice and long. It's a great way to finish our class, get us on our way. So the chair is going to help us keep our legs and lower body quiet while we mobilize just the upper portion. Inhale as you rotate. Beautiful. Exhale, side bend, and reach that left hand towards your toes, looking up to your right. Reach 3, 2, 1. We're coming back up tall and vertical. Fabulous. Let's rotate to your right. Exhale, reach your right hand down to your toes, look up to your left hand, reach with intention. 3, come off of it slightly. 2, reaching almost beyond your right foot's toes. 1, we're rolling up, head last to float up. We're levitating off our chair practically. Again, we're gonna rotate to the right. And we reach the left foot beyond the toes. We're looking up to our right hand, anchoring the right hip to the chair. We're here for 3. Feel that nice stretch. For 2. Grow tall. Head is the last thing to float up. Last time. Twist to the right. Reach beyond the right big toe. Look up to your left middle fingertips. And reach 3. Feel that stretch on the left waistline for 2. And 1. Come up tall and vertical. Take your fingertips right behind your head. Elbows nice and wide. You're going to bend the knees so your feet are flat. Squeeze slightly inbound on your chair. Lift your sternum to the ceiling. Find a nice verticality through the spine. Good. We're going to do that again. I'm just going to turn around so you see profile. We have our feet anchored to the floor, inner thighs greeting the chair. We inhale to lift that breastbone up. We're careful not to move the head back. You know that's not good. And then we're going to find that nice vertical spine. Let's go one more time. Inhale, lift the breastbone to the heavens. Navel pulling in and up. And then find vertical. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun for me. I hope you had a good time doing the chair workout. Have a great rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you are. Enjoy the rest of whatever, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.